See, I see her. I thought almost 70. All right, so the religion that I have is Hindu. I chose the Hindu religion. In my unit as a troop, we've actually had, I've had a Hindu, I've had a Muslim, this is going to be awful. I've had an Episcopalian. I know. I've had Catholics. I've had them all. I mean, the ones that we struggle with the most are the ones like the Muslims and the Hindus and the Buddhists. Because we don't really know a whole lot about their culture. Okay? And so one of the things about the Hindu culture is that they don't necessarily have a church. They don't go to church like we go to church. Their church is in their home. And so they have a shrine in their home, and they do church every day. Which, for some of us, we look at that and we go, that's a pretty good idea, because, really we're supposed to be churchy every day, not just on Sunday when God tells us to, right? So they do church every day. The interesting thing about Hindus, too, is that they have different festivals, and I chose one of their festivals. It's their New Year festival. Since we just got over our New Year festival, and we all had a really good time, and none of y'all got arrested, right? Good. All right, I'm just asking because, some of you are troublemakers. So I know. See? Look at that. It worked. You weren't. So you had troublemakers coming to you. All right, so one of the things I picked is called Diwali, and I think that's how they say it. Of course, my question is I don't know how they speak. And it's called the Festival of Lights. And they do it in the autumn, okay? And they mark this is their ceremony to mark the light in the darkness. So when the light emerged from the darkness in their culture and in their religion. And so this is a big festival for them, and it's big for everybody. And they scrub their house clean and get all new furniture sometimes. They get new clothes and they wear them during the festival. And so there are lights everywhere. There are candles, there are lights, everything is lit up. There are fireworks, and it's just a really nice process of that. So what I have for you in the instructions are going around is we're making what they call a Diwali light, and mine is stuck, so it's going to be stuck to these stickers for a little while. So what you do is you take a cup, and we're decoupaging. Everybody remember decoupage from the 70s? It's making a comeback. Just want y'all to know. So you just take your piece of paper, and they could take as many or as little as they want. You take it and you put it over the top, and then when it dries and sets, then what they do is you can have it set at one pack meeting, at one DIN meeting, and have it come back for a pack meet in the next one, and then they can put their paper in here to symbolize the candle or the lights that they would put in. So when this dries, it's going to be really colorful and pretty. Right now it's wet, so it doesn't look like that. So that is what we are going to do now. Ready? That you may not know is that they believe in reincarnation, and so they believe that cows are sacred. That's a big deal to them, and I just say this from personal experience. We took a kid, we never even really thought about it. We took him to summer camp. We never even thought about it, and the first thing they served was beef stew. And my husband sat down with him, and he was eating everything, and he would suck the broth off the beef and then put it on the table. And he was like, "What? Why do you do that?" He goes, I can't eat that." And of course that's that dawning realization of, oh yeah, dummy, of course. And then you got to work with the parents and the boys, because that particular young man was in a patrol, because that was a troop at the time, and his troop would do things like, well, we're gonna have spaghetti, and you can have mac and cheese, because we want to put hamburger meat in our spaghetti. I'm like, no. That is not being inclusive. That's not being reverent to his religion. And I was like, why can't you do spaghetti with, I don't know, turkey? And they were like, they make ground turkey? I'm like, yes, they do. And so it's teaching the boys about religions in a way that is fun and that they can learn, but they also understand that it's a respect issue. I don't want anybody coming up to me and telling me that I'm stupid because of what I believe. And I don't believe we should do that to everybody else. And if you think about it, Boy Scouts is the one organization that is in every country of the world. And so we need to be teaching our boys that it's more than just their unit. It's more than just our district. It's more than just our committee. There's a whole world of scouting that we belong to. They're all our brothers. And maybe one day they'll be lucky enough to go to a world jamboree. You just never know. That would be so much fun.
Oh,
I see, wouldn't that be fun? Where's the next world jamboree?
Canada, America,
It's
Mexico.
here.
It's in Canada,
It's in Canada?
but it's a joint between the three North Americas.
So the North Americas are combining to host it in Canada.
Oh.
I can make it to Canada. When is it?
2019.
Oh my goodness, 2019, I got enough time to make
It's-
some money too.
It's every 4 years they have it. So
I have to
2017 is a national.
Yes.
So then 2 years after that will be an international. Then 2 years after that will be a national. Then 2 years international. So every 2 years we
So
alter. 2019.
We're gonna start fundraising over here. Anybody who wants to go with us, just let me know.
Yeah, correct.
We'll find some way for you to make. We may put you out on the street, buddy.
This month is also the prime time to have your boys look into the religious awards for their own faith.
Yeah. Well,
And in the new Boy Scout requirements that have
Uh-huh.
been strengthened, each rank is required to have a Scoutmaster visit about their duty to COG.
what it's like in your house when you go to church or when you practice your religion. It gets a little bit harder as they get older, but this is a great way to say, okay, tell me about your religion and how does that differ from this one? And having them think through the process of, this is how my religion is different, and how do we treat? Do we treat them the same? Do we treat them differently? And so it kind of just helps them think about what they can and can't do and what they should do. I mean, we shouldn't be saying because you're Hindu or because you're Muslim, and that's a hot topic. When we talked about we were going to do religion, Randy went, no. No, that's questionable topic material right there. And it is, because it's just a hot time in our time. But you know what? One of the things that Baden Powell wanted was he wanted to have a group of boys that could change the world. And one of the ways they do that is by learning about other religions. And not only that, but learning about theirs and being able to say, this is why I'm my religion and this is why I believe what I believe. And here's why you believe what you believe, and it's okay that you believe that. We can believe, we can disagree, but we can still be brothers in scouting. And that's really the big portion of it. I know they don't have any colors down here, do they? Those boys don't want no pink anyway. Yeah, and yet they still